Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Altan and welcome to a new Let's Play. And I'm gonna Let's Play Archimedian Dynasty. A not very well known game, which is a pity, because this is by far one of the best games I have ever played. Archimedian Dynasty is set in the 27th century or something like that, after humanity basically destroyed Earth through a nuclear war. We had no choice but to retreat to the bottom of the oceans, where mining stations were the only spot for refuge. The surface was completely radioactive. The ice caps melted. Basically our whole planet became covered with water, so in this way our new world became aquatic. We adapted, we built stations, and we managed to survive somehow. But humans are humans, and as such we managed to make some enemies along the way, and lines got drawn and empires got created, and, well, mercenaries are needed. We're actually going to play a mercenary called Emerald Deadeye Flint. He's the best there is. But even a really good mercenary can have a really bad day. And that's where we're going to enter the game. The game was made in 1996, released in November. This is actually the build date over here. Mouse control's a bit iffy, but I'm mostly going to be using my joystick. Yeah, get it out of your system if you're snickering. Yeah, okay, right. Anyway, there is voiceover in this game, not much. Most of the game is dialogue driven, lots of reading, but I'll be reading all of it out loud, because the resolution for the time was pretty good, but nowadays 640 to 480 just doesn't really cut it. So recording this was tricky. I've been trying to work out how to do it for quite a while now, and I actually managed it, and I'm very happy about that. I'm also very happy about playing this again, because I've at least played this 3 times. Of course, on a Windows machine nowadays that is a lot more trickier than it used to be on a MS-DOS machine, because the game is pure DOS. It's running in DOSBox, which, thanks to their continued development, is now capable of running a game like this. Well, without further ado, thank you for listening to the introduction so far. Let's take a look at the intro of the game itself. Enjoy!
In the deep sea, you're not on the ground just because you stopped sinking. Peacetime is hard times for merces like me. I used to be grateful for every job, no matter how boring or senseless it was. It's part of my routine to provide protection for supply boats and transports. It was my job to guard a sulfur shipment heading from the Gulf of Bengal to the Argentine Basin. Now, sulfur isn't a particularly attractive prize for pirates or anarchists, so I got to wondering why a protective convoy was necessary, especially since there'd been few pirate attacks recently. The captain of the transporter insisted on taking the slalom route through the Malay archipelago, crossing the South Pacific so as to round Cape Horn. I thought maybe he wanted to give himself and the crew a little entertainment in the pleasure domes of the Malay archipelago. A few whores, some surface simulation, who knows? I had nothing against the idea. We passed south of the domes and headed straight for the South Pacific Basin. They came at us from every direction. A torpedo exploding close off my bow jolted me from my daydreams. A small fleet of fighter boats under the flag of the Shogun encircled us. It probably wasn't monarchists, just bandits from the tornado zone. As a greeting, they sent us a flash shark, which penetrated the outer wall of the freighter and knocked out its electrical system. A hungry swarm of bull sharks was after me. It's no fun in a fix like that if you've only got a dilapidated boat with one firing tower. The automatic finder picked out the approaching torpedoes and sent them to the bottom one after the other, while the only thing I could do was fire a few feeble thresher sharks against the agile boats. Then three things happened at once. My location system failed, an explosion astern set my boat rolling, and a smart Shogun bomber, flashing painted teeth, appeared, hovering right in front of me. I might have known that she was behind it all. My own personal nightmare from the depths of the tornado zone. I closed the valves on my suit, crawled into the escape hatch, and angrily jettisoned my lifeboat with a blast of compressed air. And not a second too soon, my crippled boat rolled over and sank into darkness as the grinning bomber strafed my titanium capsule with a salvo of hard-cased shot. One glance at the freighter confirmed what I feared. Two enemy boats had docked on. The crew was being dealt with already. Before I passed out, I thought of my failure, and I wondered why the hell the anarchists needed sulfur so bad. I came to, freezing on a cold metal floor, and I didn't know which was sharper, the features of the woman or the blade of the knife she threatened me with. She was a Russo-Japanese named Hung Lung, which means Red Dragon. A long time ago, in a penal colony in the Sea of Okhotsk, I slept with her. But at that moment, feelings of nostalgia stayed deep. She was the enemy, always had been. I defeated her once in a fight at the edge of the Sandwich Trench and spared her life. She's like me. And our paths have crossed often, and she's always my enemy. We didn't talk much. She said it would be child's play to slit my throat, but the world still needed me now that evil was reaching out of the depths. I don't know what she meant by that, but it was the first time I ever heard fear in her voice. The Ronin didn't kill me. She did the same as I had done at the Sandwich Trench. She gave me a tank full of breathing gas and expelled me from a lock into the ocean. The breathing gas had almost run out when an Atlantic ore freighter picked me up. They brought me to the Argentine Basin, where an unpleasant meeting with my employer was waiting for me. That's where this whole damn business started.
Magellan, extraction of biogenic sediments, 5,423 meters.
How's that for epic introduction? So yeah, alright. This is the intercom system. This is where you talk with people, you know, who aren't near you. Most of the game's dialogue is exactly like this. You got some text to read, you got some text to reply with, and, well, usually your replies are limited. But not always, and when you get choices, well, it does affect how people react to you in the future. So there's that too. Okay, so I promised I was going to read this out loud, and I am. We're talking to Perry LaSalle. Aha! Emerald, Deadeye Flint himself, and alive! Shut your gap, Harry. Yeah, I heard you were in a really good mood. Small wonder, the way you and El Topo set me up. No one set you up. You screwed up the mission, that's all. That's between me and El Topo. Besides, anybody can have a bad day once in a while. For you, it seems more like a couple of bad months, Flint. I had a cheap boat, El Topo was stingy, and it cost him. Save it. He'll be calling you any minute. You can tell him yourself. Be glad to. Okay, so this is Magellan, and we're docked at Magellan right now. That boat you saw earlier, that red one, was what we're piloting right now. It's a really bad boat. We're at, well, nearly 5.5 5.5 kilometers of depth right now. Most bases are pretty deep. And that's to protect us from the radioactive materials at topside. The thing is, you can't actually go to the surface and check it out. Long before that happens, your boat will malfunction due to the high levels of radioactivity. Right now we have no task. You can check this out and see what you have. Movies you can replay. You can. At some point I'm probably going to disable the autopilot movies, but for now they're pretty cool to show off. This game has some really good cutscenes, especially considering its age. I mean, 1996. That's a long time ago. Show Harbor movie, etc, etc, etc. So we're just going to enjoy the movies at the start, and maybe a bit later we'll actually stop. So that's what this is. The sea map. This is where this is Vespucci. This is the Argentine Basin. This is pretty much where we are right now. And the old world map really doesn't, all the continents really don't have much meaning anymore because we can't live there. They're totally radioactive. Anyway, let's just check things out a bit. All you need, you can do that with just clicking on this, and then you get people you can talk to. Like so. Now, I want to get something done straight away. I'm going to talk to the arms dealer. This is our current boat. It's the Hiop. You can actually turn it over like so. And depending on which side you're facing, you can put stuff on it. Now, you got the basic usual things. It's very much like Wing Commander, if you have played that. But if you play it, you can definitely tell the difference. This is not in space. It's definitely underwater. You drift and all that stuff based on where the current is pushing you. Anyway, the first thing I want to get is a new sensor, because the old one doesn't even tell the difference between friend and foe. So you can't actually tell if something is evil. That is highly annoying. So we're going to fix that straight away. Here we can change what type of guns and torpedoes we have. The Stanley is a dumbfire missile. That means that you just shoot it and it just goes, "Ooh, I'm going to go in a straight line," and that's it. And the Stanley is the Thresher. This is the Thresher. Is a homing missile. Since I'm not particularly fond of dumb fire missiles, I'm just going to sell those and buy a couple of new ones. Now, my missile magazine is magazine 1 and has capacity 4, so I can't fit more than this. You can of course upgrade all this stuff, but you need money to do that, and we don't have any. Because we just ruined the mission, and, well, you don't get paid for ruined missions. So I'm just going to do save now here, because I just fit out my boat with some stuff. There we go. Let's just have a look-see around and talk to some people. Let's see, we're going to talk to Linda Kroll. Light, you're a mercenary? Yeah, I'm Earl Flint. I'm Linda Kroll, I heard about you. Our accident. Who hasn't? I'll bet it's on the data channel. Relax, I'm a mercenary too. If one of us gets in trouble, it doesn't stay a secret long. What else have you heard? That Deadeye Flint is the best. Well, that's true. How's the situation down here? Worst thing is a shortage of decent food. Plus, we had a few attacks from the tornado zone. Anything serious? Not particularly. I heard the anarchists from Boris Santiago hate El Topo. You'd think they're looking to push out into the Atlantic. Looks like it. The Argentinian basin is strategically important. How tenacious are they, and how tenacious are they when the heat's on? You better discuss that with Crosshead. He leads the guards. Where can I find him? He should be somewhere in Vespucci. Thanks for the tip, Linda. We will be seeing each other again. Don't think so. I'm on my way to the Macquarie Ridge. Good luck, Flint. Yeah, you too, Linda. And here's hoping we meet again. Now we can talk to the merchant, and he's gonna sell us some interest in the fine. Fine. This is fun stuff, so I'll just read it. Light stranger may interest you in the finest smoke-free cigarettes. No one else can get them for you here in Magellan Station. Get away from me. I've smoked the real thing in a Malayan archipelago. You have been to the leisure complex? Yeah, and believe me, they got it all. Surface simulation, sea level, air pressure, oxygen, nitrogen, atmosphere, even simulated daylight. A poor tradesman cannot afford these things. Maybe we should change jobs. I was there hunting oxygen smugglers for the Clans Union. A wretched gang. Who would need contaminated oxygen from the surface? Yeah, they're a worthless bunch. They use the oxygen to make a decomposing breathing gas that they sold to diggers and clay builders. Perhaps if you would buy my cigarettes one day, I too could. Sorry, don't have the time or the money. A colleague of yours took my last money for a bunch of scrap he called a boat. I needed that more urgent than cigarette. Flint doesn't much like merchants. We're talking to a worker. Light man, what's up? Whatever I haven't sent to the bottom. Very good. What are you after here in the Argentinian basin? El Topo, you know him? Who doesn't know the old mole? Yeah, he's a legend. Aye, and a goddamn living one at that. He drinks all his men under the table. That's how I know him. But he's always got a grip on himself. And anyone trusts him because of it. He's the best boss in Aqua. I'll pass that along. What's your job here? I drive a sediment caterpillar, extracting opal and calcium sediments. Useful. Fire and calm person El Topo. Light Flint. Light El Topo. Sorry I made a mess of it, but... Can you imagine how sorry I am? That simply won't do. I'll make up for it. You'll have your chance. Right now, my secretary, Perry LaSalle, needs an escort. He's on Vespucci. An escort? Well, sounds like a job for me. That's not a job. It's an order. But watch out, Flint. The mob from the tornado zone have been making the streets unsafe. Right. So where do you want him? Bring Perry to me in the asylum, and promptly. Aye aye, sir. That's pretty much what we have to do now. So we got ourselves a mission. And just gonna do another save. Let's... Fisher! Alright. Welcome to Magellan. I'm Station Master Fisher. My name is Flint. One of my workmen told me you're in a good mood. Yeah, and right now that's about all I've got. Well, a little human doesn't hurt. That's true, Light Fisher. Right, let's get out of here. Okay, so we got a couple of choices on where we want to go. Now, since we need to pick a Perry LaSalle, we need to go to Vespucci. But we can actually go to Topo's Asylum and Entro Point 2. Let's actually check out their... Right, hint. Meet Crosshead in Vespucci, pick up Perry LaSalle in Vespucci and bring him to Altip. I think I'll just pick up Perry LaSalle. I'm skipping this. Not this.
Vespucci. Extraction of biogenic sediments. 4,988 meters.
Oops. I skipped a few more things than I wanted to. Alright. I'm betting Perry LaSalle's in the crew room. He is. Let's see. The dock. As Neru. Arms dealer. And a hangar. Right. Oh, Crosshead's here. Yes? How are you? Not too good. By the way, I'm Crosshead. Nice to meet you, Crosshead. I'm Emerald Flint. See, these choices here, you can either go and be a smart ass, or you can actually be nice. It just always pays off to be nice in games like this. Yeah, Linda Kroll told me about you. She sounded a bit nervous. That's just the way women react to me. Ah, I see you're a man of imagination. So, do you need a man around here? Always, but Altopa has the last word. Fine, tell me, what's wrong with the anarchists at the moment? Well, they aren't particularly tough, because they're poorly trained. Why don't you ask Terry the Blaster? He lives for battle statistics. Thanks for the tip. I'm heading out on patrol now, but you can probably find Terry somewhere here on fish poaching. Let's talk to the worker. Time is money, stranger. Oh man, how many times have you heard time is money, friend? Anyway, time is money, stranger. I gotta get to QA for opal sediments. Hey, I'm just looking around. Look, my pal on the Magellan station already told me you're a friend of Altopa's. What do you do around here? I'm in charge of training at Vespucci station, remining biosediments. Hey, don't you have a bar here? We make do with the crew assembly rooms. From time to time, Altopa throws a big party in his asylum. Good enough. See you around. Let's see now. That would be Terry the Blaster. A lot of very boring people have wasted my time today. You make the 17th. You actually keep count? You must be Flint, eh? Cross had warned me that you might come. I'm Terry the Blaster. What can you tell me about the attackers from the tornadoes, Terry? They are poorly armed, most of them use vendettas, only a few have maximum impacts. My weapons aren't much better. In that case, you should outmaneuver them. They are poorly trained. How useful. Neru. Shalom, I'm Neru, importer of merchandise and illusions from the Clan Union. I'm also rather busy. Salam, Emerald Flint. What sort of things do you have, Neru? The miracles of the world, my friend. Cigarettes that can imitate a glowing tip in helium-17, perhaps? That's old news. What else? A bottle of sparkling chemo champagne. A real rarity at 30 bars pressure. Really? Champagne bottles that pop normally weigh 25 kilos. Not this one. The pressure is equalized with an extra cylinder. Interesting. What else? A water organ. Put it in the water behind the boat and you'll get wonderful music. How extravagant. Perhaps a culture of luminous fungi. Light for the bedroom. Impressive. How about a holographic recording of Floating Bombay Ballad? Look, do you have anything that's actually useful? Well, I happen to have a few drops of carfentanil, enough for at least 300 wonderful journeys into Dreamland. I need to be alert at all times, Neru. Ah, Flash 9 was invented for just this, a neurological miracle. You'll never have to sleep again. Seems like today is not your lucky day, Master Neru. I have to move on. May the market guide you, Emerald Flint. The dialogue and writing in this game is good. And the whole setting of it, I love it. Art style, everything, it just comes together amazingly well. I'll save Perry for last. We're gonna talk to the merchant. Light, I am the head of traders. How can I help you? By not trying to sell me something. You already, you are the miserly mercenary nerd you told me about. You have already turned down 2 of my traders. Let's see. Look, pal, if I don't need anything, I'm not buying anything, period. Right, and what do you have to offer me? Right, and what do you have to offer me? I am selling the latest and finest software for upgrading your ship's computers. Well, alright, if it's not too expensive. On the contrary, this might lead to a well-paid job for you. Really? I'm all ears. Yes, but shall we first take... I know where this is heading. Yes, but shall we take first things first? about the merchandise you have agreed to buy. Well, look, at the time, I'll get back to you about the software. Bugger. Yeah, you can actually buy software for your ship. Truthfully, you really can. Gwendolyn! What a honey! I hope I can do something for you, sailor. I already feel dirty just by reading that out loud. Thanks. No, I've got all the infection I need, or, well, I didn't know Alto put out independence around here. Sure, even the great boss of the Argentina basin needs a little relief from time to time. Let's see... Ha! You're right. Ha! You're alright, lady. What's your name? Gwendolyn, Lady of the Islands. And I'm Deadeye. I hit every time. I'm curious about how much you're exaggerating, but I have to run. I'm meeting a businessman and he's a great customer. Well, now we're gonna talk to Pellisal. So, what El Topo have to say? I'm supposed to take you to him. Great, let's go. I hope you actually plan on making an effort on this mission. Consider yourself lucky I'm in the boat with you. We better get to the dock. El Topo wants to see you. He told me he needs his emetic. Alright. Now with that out of the way, I think all we need to do here is pick up, and bring him to El Topo. Right. I'll just do a fast save. Did that work? Damn that mouse. Yeah, it worked. Alrighty then. We'll just enter Topo's asylum. Shortly before reaching El Topo's asylum, your ship is attacked. Someone who hates Lascelles' guts even more than you do wants him dead. Too bad Lascelles in your ship, and he's your boss's secretary.
Power surge detected.
Anarchist Scout, hand Lascelles over to us and nothing will happen. No answer? Well then, you will die with him.
Sonar ready.
This
Target
is stuff
identified.
that's actually...
Target locked.
Dead yet? No.
Target destroyed. Autopilot available.
Perry, what an idiot. Okay, let's go. That's the kind of stuff that's appearing at the bottom. Welcome to the ocean floor, by the way. How do you like it so far? So, let's just talk about this real quickly here. The flashing A at the upper left is telling me I can engage the autopilot. The S means my sonar's active, and I love the music in this game. Anyway, the icon off left right to that is actually my armor. Then there's of course the compass. Then there's the depth meter and the altitude meter, speed, noise level, and all sorts of wonderful things. And the amount of buzzers I have, targets, and all sorts of cool stuff. But we'll get to that in a bit. Right. So that's pretty much it. All I need to do now is press Alt A and we'll just head off to the next part.
The ship that this junk dealer foisted off on me didn't offer a lot of comfort. It wasn't particularly agile, but it was lightly armed, and to my surprise, it was watertight. I wasn't in a position to make many demands because I just screwed up a pretty good job. I picked up Perry Lascelles, who was seething with rage, and on his way to see my employer, El Topo. El Topo, the mole, so named because he hides his eyes from the light, except when it comes from the surveillance monitors in his dismal mountain fortress. The mole is a powerful force behind the scenes, and he has access to the most important power centers in Aqua. I was sure that here I'd find out what was really on board that freighter.
Topos Asylum, El Topos Fortress, 2,826 meters.
See, that's a bit further up already, but still pretty far down. But, yeah, what was on that fader? Why were the pirates interested in it? Good questions, which we'll have to wait for the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and join me again for more Let's Play Archimedian Dynasty. Goodbye for now.